I had to do it. I had to do it. I've got to do MAGOO. I got to do MAGOO. Excuse me. I've got to do MAGOO. I'm starting to realize that I need to sort of kind of give up on court because Mike's got it as soon as it comes out, and Colin's got it at night, and everybody in between. However, I will still always turn on Judge Simpson. And I turned on Simpson today, and I didn't even realize that MAGOO was supposed to be in court today. Now, I haven't covered MAGOO myself on this channel, but I watched him a lot. I watched him on everybody else's channel. Anyway, he was there. So was the tuxedo guy from the other day. Mike just covered him too, so I might not. But hey, you just watched it once. You'll probably watch it again with Colin. You might as well watch it again with me. So let's watch MAGOO. Maybe. It's my Friday. I don't have to work tomorrow. I'm taking the weekend off, which probably means I am not streaming over the weekend. And where is MAGOO? I hope everybody's doing awesome today. Oh, there's MAGOO. I found MAGOO. Okay, here's MAGOO. I'm just gonna start with MAGOO, and I think I'm just gonna stay on MAGOO, and then when MAGOO's done, I'll throw some comments in between, but then I'm going to just stop the stream after that. So, for the third time today, Daniel MAGOO.
Do what we got to do. Court calls the case People versus Ardashir Hassani.
By third time today, I mean Abashir Jasani and then Daniel MAGOO.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Prosecutor appearing on behalf of the people.
Malika Fatima appearing on behalf of Ardashir Hassani.
All right. Your name, sir?
Ardashir Hassani.
Thank you.
Your Honor, at this time, we are requesting for an adjournment.
Okay.
making
Would you
sure
be
I
able
didn't
to accomplish
overshoot
your
it.
task by the 7th, or did you need one more week out?
Oh, I should probably set up my chat.
You have no
It works
idea,
like
do
this.
you? All right, I'll just make the call. Probable cause conference, August 14th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Okay, here we go. Court does call the case of the People versus Daniel MAGOO.
There we go. There we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ashley Lottie for the people.
Sir, state your name.
I'm here on a special appearance, Your Honor. MAGOO is Easy Elastical Trust.
Easy laxical trust. So he's going. He did. If anybody caught his last appearance, he had an attorney. It went smoothly. It looks like he's back to being MAGOO.
Registered in Jackson County on a case number 2522246.
Okay, is your name Daniel MAGOO?
Your Honor, that is the name you seek, and it is copyrighted and trademarked.
Okay, very well. Ms. MAGOO, are you represented by an attorney, or do you wish to be represented by an attorney on these matters?
I am not.
Do you wish to be?
No. Not at this time.
Let me then do this. You have two cases before this court, one being the case ending, let me get the full case number 25 F4 0523. In that case, sir, the complaint does allege that on March 27, 2004, you committed the offense of operating while intoxicated. Do you understand what you're charged with?
I do not.
You do not understand
There is
that?
no eyewitnesses or corroborating witnesses at all.
I'm not asking whether or not the proofs are there. Do you understand what you are charged with?
I do not.
Do you understand the notion of drunk driving?
I do not understand how I could be
We've been
charged with
through this
something without a
before on
witness.
your other cases when you represent yourself, so we'll just do it.
Are you
the
talking
same
about the
way.
case that's in federal court right now,
You
Your
are
Honor?
before a complaint in that case for a charge of operating while intoxicated, third offense. Because it's a third offense, that is a felony. It is punishable by up to $500 to $5,000, up to 1 to 5 years incarceration. The court can order probation, 30 days to 1 year in jail, or at least 48 hours must be conserved consecutively. The court can also order community service, rehabilitative programs. The court can also order your vehicle immobilized, can order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services.
As I am here and as a trust, Your Honor, I am here in exclusive equity,
You count 2 on that.
Exclusive equity. So translation, nobody else knows what. Oh my God, nobody knows what you're talking about, dude.
Complaint is the charge of operating while license suspended, denied, and or revoked. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs, and your vehicle could be subject to immobilization.
My license is
Count
canceled,
3.
not suspended or revoked. It
Count
is canceled
3
through the state
on
of
that
Michigan.
complaint
Canceled.
is the charge of escape from lawful custody. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year, a $1,000 fine.
I was never arrested or read any Miranda rights
Point to
accordingly.
assume, given that the defendant is talking and
What do you think it means by that? He was never arrested or read any Miranda rights, right? So, A, we know the Miranda rights aren't going to matter unless they were asking him questions. Why am I doing that? B, he was never arrested. Well, you've got a green jumpsuit on. Although, it could be because of the other charges. I'm guessing it's some soft sit something because you're probably definitely arrested here.
in English, that he understands English, understands the nature of those charges and what he's charged against.
So malicious prosecution by
wishes to
Washington County
represent
prosecutor as
himself.
usual.
Sir, there is great peril in representing yourself. You will be held to the same standards as anybody apply or for.
This is a matter under the Eastern
Not
District of
assist you
Michigan
in
Federal
any
Court.
way or
Case
show
number
you any
2511226.
favoritism because you were not represented by counsel. I would further indicate, sir, that at any point during these proceedings, if you wish to be represented by counsel, you can make that request to the court and counsel would be appointed to represent you. Because of the defendant's conduct in the past in not acknowledging the court and what the court is saying, the court does make the presumption that he does speak English. He understands that. I would further state on the record that Mr. MAGOO has been through this process before. He does understand that if he does wish to be represented by counsel, the court would give him
He overstands, Judge.
counsel or would have counsel appointed to represent him in this matter. In the case 25 F3 099 or 0979, in that case, sir, you are before a complaint that alleges that on or about July 3rd of 2025, count 1 is fleeing and eluding 4th degree.
Added on by the
Police
prosecutor's
officer.
office after the
Sir,
fact.
that is a felony, punishable by up
Malicious
to 2 years
prosecution.
incarceration and a $2,000 fine plus court costs, mandatory suspension by the Secretary of State.
My Secretary of
2
State, anything
is
is canceled. I have
operating
no contracts with the state of
Vehicle,
Michigan.
that is a misdemeanor
This
charge.
is a matter of trust, Your Honor. This is a matter of trust. I am protected
to
under a
90
trust.
days in jail, a $100 fine plus court cost. Count 3 on that complaint alleges operating a motor vehicle without security. That is a misdemeanor, not punishable by not more than 1 year incarceration and not less than $200 nor $500 fine plus court cost. Count 4 is operating while license suspended, denied, and or revoked. That is a misdemeanor.
All of my registrations are through the federal government. I have federal government.
We need to check down his car and see what his registrations look like. You know, I've seen the ones with the US dot number on there. I've seen those in person too. Most common are the ones that say private. I've got a feeling his is unique. It probably says MAGOO, but we got to find out what that one looks like.
Registration.
Plus
I do
court
not have
costs,
contracts with the
vehicle could
state.
be subject to mobilization. Count 5 on that complaint alleges refusal to obey refusal to
I have an international driver's
police
permit.
officer. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days.
So international driver's permits do exist. I worked in the rental car business for some time, and the United States recognizes the international driver's license for most countries. And we have a treaty with a good handful of companies where we'll honor their driver's license, like Canada, Mexico. I'm sure there's a good handful of other ones. So if somebody comes to the U.S. and they have a Canadian driver's license, it's basically like having a Texas driver's license, right? I mean, they're both different countries, right? But then the non-direct treaty countries relative to international driver's licenses, or their country's driver license, they'll get an add-on international driver's license, which they'll use to rent a car with, or or I'm trying to avoid saying whatnot, but he's clearly has the YouTube or Amazon made or self made international driver license, which we've seen. Oh man, Kim Blandino probably had. Um, all the U.S. state national people probably have. And then they'll mention that it's not blue, it's red. You know what? On my next show, I'm going to Google that. I'm going to find one of these.
$100 fine plus court costs. I would indicate to the defendant the same admonishments regarding the perils in representing oneself that I stated in the other case also apply to this case.
Were you served your
And that
notice
if
and
the
summons
defendant
yet, Your Honor?
wishes to have counsel appointed, the court would consider or would appoint counsel to represent him in this matter. And he apparently wishes to proceed.
Were you served your notice
Having
and summons
notice
for federal
of
court?
the charges, sir, do you wish to still proceed without an attorney?
I just want to know, where do you
Do
get your
you
powers?
wish
Are
to
you an Article
proceed?
3 judge or an Article 6 judge?
We're at Article 6 now. I don't think I've heard the Article 6 judge thing before. I've heard the Article 1, the Article 3. We typically skip Article 2. It also sounds like MAGOO is suing Simpson in federal court. They don't like each other.
Judge. Where
Do
are your
you
vested
wish to
powers?
proceed
Can you answer
without
that?
an attorney?
You can't even
can
answer
look
me
it
what your
up.
powers are.
You can look it up.
No, you guys disconnected my access to any kind of law library or anything. You are an Article 6 judge under the Michigan Constitution. You have no authority to deprive me of my
You'll
rights.
see how
His authority comes from the people via election.
much authority I have. I will assume that you wish
This is
to
a matter
proceed
of
without
trust.
counsel. I will assume you wish to proceed without counsel and that you will wish to continue to proceed.
Practicing
without
law
counsel
from the
until you
bench.
Inform the court otherwise. Ms. Lonnie.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is the court completed the arraignment for the record at this time? on both
Well,
cases?
he had been arraigned. I was just admonishing him of the perils of representing himself and that it requires in part that I let him know what he is charged with. And I've read them kind of in fully, more so than I would have because he refuses to acknowledge those. So I am satisfied that he now knows all of the charges that are against him.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people would like to be heard on bond when appropriate.
All right. What do we want to set this for? Do you wish to have a preliminary examination, sir?
This is a matter of a federal matter now, Your Honor, under case number 2511226, under the Eastern District of Michigan, under the Honorable Mark A. Goldsmith and Magistrate Judge David R. Grand. This is, there is no proceeding here, Your Honor.
There is no proceeding. Oh, there's a proceeding.
Well, malicious prosecution is what the proceeding is.
Okay, very good. Do you wish to have a preliminary examination?
There's no proceeding, Your Honor. This is a matter that should be stayed. and
What is
dismissed.
people's position on whether or not we should set this for preliminary examination or adjourn the probable cause?
Your Honor, I don't know if the defendant has received all discovery in this matter as he is representing himself, so I would request a probable cause date, potentially.
Because you've got to send it.
Yeah, and who restricted my phone
Probable
calls?
cause conference, you know what?
Who,
You're gonna have to stop interrupting. I will give you an opportunity. You've been before me before. I will give you an opportunity to say whatever you want to say. But I'm not gonna have you interrupt me, and I'm not gonna have you interrupt the people when they're talking. As long as you were saying.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have to there's video evidence in addition to the paper discovery. I've got to make arrangements with Lieutenant Arnett to work on that. So it may take just a bit longer. I would potentially look at the 7th, maybe, if the court would have.
Okay, one quick thing. This lady right here in the blue, I completely forget her name. The one with the blue blazer. I know she's not the specific prosecutor on this hearing for this case. And I don't know if they keep their own cases or they trade them off in the prosecutor's office or share caseloads, but they need her on this because she is freaking awesome with sovereign citizens. She shuts them down so much quicker than any other prosecutor I've ever seen. I gotta find it. I'll find an example or two. Maybe I'll post it. Maybe I won't. But they need to get her on this because she's sitting there in her chair with her laptop, just smirking, waiting for that case law to come out, waiting for the shutdown. But she's not in this position.
Entertain that, and then I will wait to be heard on bond when the time is appropriate.
I will adjourn the probable cause August 7th, 2025, 9 a.m. As the bond.
Your Honor, I've been reviewing X-Jail and I wanted to double check if the defendant had been arraigned. It's not clear to me from a couple of different things, but it does appear that he has been set with a $10,000 bond in 25F30979, as well as 25F40523, each $10,000.
Yes.
Your Honor, I do think it's important that the court have some additional information, and I would ask the court to revisit the issue of bond. First and foremost, I think it's important the court know that the facts alleged in the newest case, the 25F30979, it does include the fact that the Michigan State trooper who pulled the defendant over noted in his police report that the defendant had a license on his vehicle that indicated he was a diplomat and that he refused to identify himself. He refused for quite a bit of time. Additional units had to be brought to the scene from the sheriff's department in order to, for lack of a better term, deal with the situation. And ultimately, they were able to identify him as the defendant, Daniel MAGOO. The concern with that goes along with the other case, which is an OWI. It is charged as a third. I will note that it is a true fourth, to the best of my understanding. So there does appear to be an alcohol problem going on. And I also think it's important for this court to know, because I don't know that the court knows, the defendant has a third new case, telecommunications malicious use with a domestic relationship, that is currently pending as well. He's also been set $10,000, 10% in that matter. But I think
Where is that case out of?
that case is out of 14B, Your Honor, before Judge Washington.
A co-defendants with the federal case that you guys are both in, and this is a conflict of interest as both of you guys are defendants in my federal case.
Everybody's getting sued by MAGOO.
Go ahead.
I also understand, Your Honor, that there is a municipal case out of Canton Township that was set for a jury trial in April of this year, where the defendant failed to appear. And there were jurors, there was a veneer that had been brought in. And I bring all of this up to say, Your Honor, that the people are concerned about the defendant's ability to remain law-abiding, because I'll also note for the record that at the time that the new resisting, obstructing, fleeing, eluding case and the telecommunications malicious use case came up, he was in bench warrant status before Judge Slay, is my understanding, for refusing to come after the case here had been bound over, refusing to appear in person. I say all of that to say this, I do think that $10,000 is too low. And I also am gonna request a SRAM tether because this is an OWI fourth alleged, as well as a GPS tether, given his history of failure to appear and failure to comply with court regulations. Thank you, Your Honor.
Is the bench warrant before Judge Slay still out?
She has bond denied in her case now.
His bond's been denied in that.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Got it. Anything you'd like to say?
Anything to do with any contracts with the state of Michigan are void ab initio for a matter of law, as I have an canceled driver's license.
He's really stepped up his sovereign citizen arguments. I don't know if anybody recalls his very first appearance with Judge Simpson. He made some comment where that he was basically happy to have this experience going forward. He used some of the sovereign citizen stuff enough for we're prepared to watch his hearings over and over and over, but he's got everything now, and he doesn't need a script. He's fully there, and he's probably an alcoholic. He's probably definitely an alcoholic.
And I have an international driver's permit. International driver's permit. And that also relates to the Canton case that they're trying to stick me for a driving unlicensed suspended citation, in which that I have an international driver's permit, making it also
he's in
void.
trouble in another state too.
All of my matters, including the vehicle that I'm registered under, are registered to the federal government, not the state, under the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. All of these charges are frivolous and a part of a long pattern of malicious prosecution by Ms. Londy, the Washtenaw County Prosecutor's Office, and quite frankly, you, Your Honor.
Simpson wants nothing to do with this guy, and I know he did the pretrial on his original case with Simpson, but I believe that's the trial that I believe that's the case that is in front of Judge Slay. That after they did the probable cause hearing, that he didn't show up on the trial date. I don't believe that trial was in front of Simpson. But Simpson definitely didn't pull him over. He didn't monitor his phone calls. He didn't take the report from the lady who reported the malicious telecommunications. So anyway, any federal court's going to look at this case and they're going to drop it as soon as they read through it.
Hearing argument regarding bond, the court does believe that it was an abuse of discretion, given the circumstances of this defendant, to set his bond at the $10,000 figure. After hearing argument, viewing the file, the court does believe that not only does the defendant pose a risk to the public,
No
I certainly
victims.
believe that the defendant is a risk of flight given those circumstances, and has indeed, or at least is charged in this case, refused to obey or fled and eluded it.
That was added on afterwards. The police officer did not report that
Those
at all.
reasons the court, given those circumstances, would in each case raise the defendant's bond, grant the people's motion. Defendant's bond in each matter is set in the amount of $50,000 cash here. Thank you.
Bam.
The tethers I requested, if he is able to post, Your Honor.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Simpson moved his bond from $10,000 to $50,000, which might or might not matter because he's got a no bond hold in the other case, his original case. I'm assuming that no bond hold is going to stick until he has his trial. This means that we're going to see more of MAGOO, maybe a lot more of MAGOO. He's suing Judge Simpson. He's suing the prosecution. He's suing. I believe he's suing the magistrate or the arraignment judge. I forgot her name. It's escaping me. He is. Oh, let's see. What else is going on here? He's facing some serious time. These charges rack up to stick him in the felony category. And I believe it was a minimum of 1 year, up to 5 years. Now, I think whichever judge he sees, whether it's a jury trial or a bench trial, I think they'll be fair to him. And I think they'll review the facts of the case pretty closely. But he's racking up some charges. He's doing it quickly. He's putting himself in the spotlight with this federal case. I did look up those judges that he mentioned, by the way, and they're definitely real. So we'll see what happens with MAGOO. You might not see it on this channel because I'm usually the last person to get to him, but I always turn on Simpson. Anyway, I was working today. I figure you just watched it on Mike's channel. You're gonna watch it on a couple other channels lately, but man, he's there. Have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna get one more in later. It's gonna be traditional body cam. I'm going out of town for 3 days, so my 65 subscribers. Hold on, let's check that number real quick because you guys are so awesome. And I know I kind of suck at this, and I need to work on my tone and inflection, but I'm getting better. You gotta admit, like, go back and watch my videos from 2-3 weeks ago. What was I just looking up? God, man, I am so spacey right now. Yeah, go back and watch 2-3 weeks ago. Oh, number of subscribers. Okay. 63. Love every 63 of y'all. Did I lose a couple? I don't blame you if you drop me, but I don't want you to. It's probably because I rant like this at the end, in the middle, and the beginning. Can I know I can see y'all from my phone, but and those 63 subscribers, I have a huge thank you to Biggins channel, Biggins chat specifically, and especially Colin. Colin's a good dude. You know, he responds when you reach out to him, even a complete stranger, saying, "Hey, dude, I'm stuck. I'm starting, and I need help." And he's there to help. Well, he helped me, and I appreciate it greatly. Okay, you guys.